It's 1 a.m. on the Wellington Airport runway, where a crew of around 60 people are working through the night, as Fulton Hogan project manager Ash Huff explains.
We have our briefing at 8 p.m. and we're off site here before 6. Gets a bit hard on the body, but yeah, you just got to make sure that you're getting the right amount of sleep, you're eating well, you're staying hydrated, and yeah, just got to treat it like a normal day, you know.
The resurfacing of the runway was originally scheduled for 2023, but Wellington Airport's head of airfield development, Nick Petkov, says the halt of international flights due to COVID-19 meant the work could be brought forward.
I think the big challenge this time was actually pulling this off and designing it and getting it from a wild concept to actually shovels in the ground in about 3 or 4 months. Traditionally, a project of this scale probably takes about 18 months to design and pull together, procure, bring everyone on. But with COVID appearing early in the year, we kind of thought never waste the good crisis.
He says he doesn't have any concerns about the speed in which the plans were put in place, as they work with a good team of contractors.
And at the end of the day, this is bread and butter type of work for us and for them. So whilst it might be out of the ordinary to the layman, this is things that we do fairly regularly.
There's also the added pressure of making sure the runway is open on time for the first flight of the morning at 6 a.m. But Nick Petkov says they've only had one close call.
One night where we released the runway at about 1 minute past 6. Thankfully, the aircraft had actually started and it was taxiing, and by the time the last vehicle got off, he was still getting onto the runway, so it wasn't a delay. But it's about getting it right. We've got this opportunity of, 7, 8 hours every night. You want to get it just right. You don't want to be too conservative and finish too early, because it just means you're missing out on an opportunity. You obviously don't want to be late as well, because the flow-on effect of flight operations, not just at Wellington, but the whole New Zealand network, can then be significant.
Weather also plays a big factor on if the work can go ahead each night. Ash Huff has had to become an amateur meteorologist.
More often than not, the forecast's off, so you got to sort of interpret what you've got in front of you and make a call based on that.
Have you ever got it wrong?
No, we never get it wrong. No, there's been some times where sometimes it's a little bit marginal, but we have to err on the side of caution, so we don't push the limits too much yet.
And after 2.5 months, it's a relief that the work is nearly at an end, after shifting 800 tonnes of asphalt each night.
400 tonne going out, 400 tonne going back in, on average. 400 tonnes about the weight of a 747 every night. Near the end of the tunnel, getting towards the end of the project, so it's nice at least the end of the resurfacing portion of it. So it's good to see the end in sight.
Nick Petkov says that making it this far so quickly has been incredibly satisfying.
When we first started on the runway right down the south end, and you could look up and you look at another 2 kilometres to go, it was almost a little bit disheartening. But now that we're at this point in time and you could see the finish line, everyone's kind of getting that refreshed sense of elation, so we're nearly there.
And with the Trans-Tasman and Cook Island bubble on the cards early next year, the timing is perfect, with work due to finish this week. For First Up, Dom Thomas.